Our verse for today is in Colossians chapter 3, verse 25. Anyone who does wrong will be repaid for their wrongs, and there is no favoritism. Do you know any teacher's pet or people who get treated better than anybody else or everyone else?
Did you get ano? Do you know? Sabi? Do you know someone? Yes, I know someone.
I know someone too, but not to mention.
Yes, thank you, Chloe. Question: what happens in a group where some are treated better than others? What do you think, Charles?
Unfair.
Hatred.
Jealousy.
Inject.
Jealousy happens, diba? Between the people, and then also anxiety, frustrations sa mga taong hindi napapaboran. Let's read. Moses was the man God called to lead the Israelites out of slavery. He stood in front of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and told him to let the Israelites go. He raised his arms in front of the Red Sea while God parted the waters. He met with God one-on-one on Mount Sinai to receive the 10 Commandments. He led the Israelites across the wilderness for 40 years. He brought them to the edge of the Promised Land. Moses was one of the greatest leaders and one of the most faithful men of God who ever lived. One day, however, while the Israelites were wandering in the wilderness, complaining that they were about to die of thirst, God instructed Moses to speak to a rock so that it would produce water. In frustration, Moses struck the rock with his staff instead. God responded immediately for his disobedience, for hitting the rock instead of speaking to it. Moses was forbidden to enter the Promised Land, something he'd dreamed about for 40 years. That's harsh consequence. If God didn't play favorite with Moses, he won't play favorites with anyone. God doesn't discriminate when he punishes. He holds everyone equally accountable.
See?
Ako, one thing, isa sa natutunan ko in my Christian life for how many years is that God can guide you. God can guide you. God can bless you. But one thing God can't remove apart from your sufferings, diba, is the consequences of your actions. So, ginaguide ka ng Panginoon, pero kapag nagkamali ka sa mga ginawa mo, hindi niya maiko-correct lahat. Hindi niya makukuha or maangkin yung consequences ng mga ginawa mo. It will happen there. It will still happen. Pero sabi nga natin, 'di ba? If things happen sa mga ganyang pagkakataon, that only means na kailangan natin matutunan kung ano yung reason kung bakit natin to pinagdadaanan, 'di ba? And tama yung sinabi kanina dito sa binasa natin na God has no favorites. Wala siyang paborito. Kasi nga, di ba si Moises, even parang isipin mo, parang siya na yung kanang kamay ng Diyos, di ba? Pero hindi pa rin siya nakapasok sa Promised Land. This verse today also specify or parang ano pa ba, express how important obedience is. Kasi nakita mo naman, di ba? Obedience will bring us blessings. Sabi nga sa church nung Sunday. Pero, if you disobey as well, meron din kapalit yun. And in Moises' case, hindi siya nakapasok sa Promised Land. Diba? So, let's all be careful sa mga ginagawa natin. Diba? Kasi God has no favorite. Even if you are even if you've been following God for how many years, or you've accepted God already, 'di ba? You are not exempted sa mga bagay na pwedeng mangyari sa iyo na hindi maganda. Only because sometimes may mga pagkakataon na nakakagawa tayo ng mga hindi magagandang bagay, and that bounce back to us. Bumabalik siya sa atin. 'Di ba? So napaka-importante that we always obey the Lord, kasi lahat naman ng gustong ipagawa sa atin ng Panginoon is para sa ating kabutihan. And that's how we can also avoid yung yung mga bagay or consequence ng mga bagay na dinesisyonan natin na mali pala. 'Di ba? So, our DBS today reiterates obedience. Na dapat you always obey the Lord, kasi even if you've been with Him for a long time, tatandaan mo, walang paborito si Lord. Parang magulang lang yan. Walang paborito. Pag nagkamali ka, iko-correct ka, didisiplinahin ka. Diba? And pag may ginawa ka namang mabuti, you will be rewarded. Okay? Charles, can you pray? Please.
Mommy, the wiper.
Ay, do you wanna add anything, Kuya? You're good? Okay.
Dear God,
Mama,
thank you
you
for
my wiper.
Dear God, thank you for correcting us when we do something wrong and for not showing favoritism when you do it. Help us follow your example and treat everyone with equal kindness and love. Amen.
Amen.